Hello, I'm Stuart Bloor. I'm perch fishing today. You can see the water behind me. I'm on a tiny little stream. If you follow my angling journal on a regular basis, you will know that I do fish a 100-acre reservoir for perch occasionally, but I'm at the other end of the scale this time. It's a tiny little stream. I discovered it, inverted commas, quite recently. I decided to come and give it a go. I have fished it before, but I decided to come and see if there are any perch in here, and I had a very enjoyable couple of hours on an afternoon catching some small fish. I say small, up to 8 ounces, which actually is incredible for a place this size, and it's been on my radar ever since. The river levels generally have been very, very low, and this being a small stream, it's been increasingly below that level that you would want to come and give it a go at. So I've waited till we've had a little bit of rain. As you'll see from the water, it's quite coloured. It's like the River Team when that's got a bit of water in it, but it's falling off. It's quite normal level now, normal summer level. So I've come again for an evening up to dark, and I'm going to see if I can improve on the 8-ounce perch that I caught last time. And before I cast out, let me show you my rig. I've got a small lead, which I'm now going to swing into the view. There it is. Small lead, that's free running of course. And then, very simple setup. I've got 4-pound line, Maxima, and I've got a small bead there, that's a 5mm bead, a small shot, and the shot will fit into the bead. And then, 6 inches down, I've got a size 10 hook, and I'm going to fish worm over red maggots. So I've got some ground bait as well to mix the maggots in with, put it out and fish worm over that. This is going to be a challenging video, it's going to be a challenging session because it's totally and absolutely overgrown. I've had to hack my way through balsam, Himalayan balsam and nettles to get here, so I'm already stung and sweaty and I've had flies all over me, but no pain, no gain, as they say. Let's see if I can get some gain. Fishing a very light quiver tip, and before I've even put any ground bait or maggots out, I've decided to drop the worm down the channel to see if there's anything lurking around. I've had nothing so far. It's been in there for about 30 seconds. It's very often, as we know, fish, particularly if they're not fished for on a regular basis, we'll see a worm come in and they'll soon be on it, or any bait for that matter. But there's nothing out there at the moment, so I think I'm going to put some bait out now and then fish over that. I've just had a few little taps there, so that's encouraging to know that there is something now in the swim. I think it was a roach though. You can just sort of tell, can't you, sometimes? But as I say, that's encouraging, because I'm a great believer that a crowd attracts a crowd. If I get a few small roach in here, then the perch won't be far behind. With a little tap here, let's see if it develops into something. Definitely something going on there underneath the water, or beneath the surface of the water, should I say. Underneath the water's the bed, isn't it? You know what I mean. Oh no. Well, I did think I was having roach bites, and there's my first fish. Just a tiny little roach. Got it there. It's a tiny little roach, but actually quite nice for the place that I'm on, so I'm pleased with that. No blanca, but now to catch a perch. I've caught my perch. Only a small one, but like the roach, quite nice really for the venue. I'm certainly happy with that. I've moved the camera around to get a different angle, variety and all that sort of thing. That perch that I had just, although it was only a small fish, the tip pulled right the way around. In fact, if you were barbel fishing and you had a take like that, you'd be convinced you got a double figure one on the end. It was a really good take. I think the key is that these fish, although I don't like to make a statement like that, but these fish have probably never been fished for before, never been caught before, so they don't have the added wariness on top of their natural instinct to anglers' baits. I've had to work my way through to this particular place, as I said at the start of the video, through all the Himalayan balsam and the nettles, and I can see down the bank as far as the next bend, and no one's been down there at all. It's just totally and absolutely wild and overgrown. Maybe you've got a place like that near you, little stream, little brook, maybe a very small river, the upper reaches of maybe a river that becomes deeper later on. And it's a sort of place where anglers don't go because they assume that there's nothing in there, just a few small fish. But you never know, do you? And even me at this stage, I don't know what's in here. I've been really encouraged by the perch that I had first time round, and that's what's brought me back to test the potential a little bit further. But regardless of what I catch, and regardless of how I do on this particular session or any subsequent ones afterwards, the thing is, I'll really enjoy it, because there's something special about going to fish somewhere where it's not a regular place, so you don't know what's in there. That tip goes round, could be a £2 perch. Now that would be something special from here. If I could catch a £1 fish, that would probably rank as one of my best ever perch. And that's the great thing about fishing, isn't it? Fish places like this, you just don't know what's in there until you get out and give it a go. So if you've got a place like that near you, give it a go. How about that for a roach? Now that is a cracker. Now when I say it's a good fish, obviously I'm taking into account the venue. It's not going to make the front page of the Angler's Mail or the Angling Times, but for me, fishing the place I am, that really is an excellent fish. I'm not surprised that the roach have been putting in more of a show than the perch, because the river, the stream, is fining down after some water coming through, and that's probably my favourite time for fishing rivers for roach, after a flood, as it's starting to drop off, and a little bit of colour in the water, and get those roach on the feed. Probably with hindsight, if I was that way inclined, that I was thinking of other species, then I would definitely have gone for roach. The river certainly has more colour in it than I expected it to, but I'm here for perch, and not disappointed when a few roach like that turn up. I'm certainly getting more roach action. There's another small fish. We're well into evening now. I'm continuing to catch these roach. Most of them are just small fish. I'm getting lots and lots of plucks. I think if I was fishing for roach specifically, with the right sort of gear, I probably have quite a few in the net now. And I have got a keep net, by the way. I don't use one very often, but in certain circumstances, when it's the right thing to do, I have no problems with using a keep net. I've got the net just a little bit upstream, so when I'm catching a fish, I'm wandering up through the undergrowth to pop it in there. It's in the water. The fish are safe, no issues at all. I think in angling you get a lot of people, a lot of anglers who take the moral high ground on a lot of issues, and keep nets is one of those things that they often do. And I think the danger in that, taking the moral high ground, not using a keep net, the danger in taking that position is that you set yourself up, don't you? And a lot of anglers do exactly that. Because once you start taking that position against fellow fishermen, then the slightest thing in your own life, you're exposing it to the ridicule of others, aren't you? So as far as I'm concerned, I don't use one generally, just the odd occasion, such as now, because if I release fish into this stream, small river, brook, whatever you want to call it, that I'm actually fishing, it would obviously affect the session that I'm having. So I've got no problem in using one sometimes in the right conditions, and I think that's what angling should be about, thinking things through, not using a keep net every time, and I wouldn't put barbel in a keep net, and pike and carp and things like that, although anglers do when they fish matches. That's again something that's up to the individual to work out for themselves. I'm certainly not being missed one then. I'm certainly not being judgmental at all. I'm just saying what my own position is, and I think that's what we should do. Take our own position and understand that not everyone appreciates where we're at, and live and let live. Yet another small roach that I've just caught. Well, the video's coming to an end now. If you're on Facebook, like my page. If you're on Twitter, follow me. You can find all the links on my angling website.